out to some emergency thing with his church, and so now Jason Moore's trying to get back from volleyball game or wherever he's at to get back to the building. But I don't know. We'll see. You can do double duty. Always like to have an extra set of eyes out here that I can shoot off of them as well. Oh, no, you'll keep me on track as far as who some of these guys are.
Officials for today's game, the referee is Aaron Wright, umpire Shane Garner, head linesman Mark Goddard, line judge Mark French, and back judge Brad Wilson. The Mules won the toss and will receive. They will defend the south end. Foxes will be kicking away and defend the north end. County High School Pep Band under the direction of Vicente Rivera.
You don't want to bounce back and forth?
Anyone helping to form the tunnel as the Foxes come out needs to be making their way down to the south end zone at this time. I'd like to remind everyone the next game against Vienna will be forfeited for the varsity game. We will be playing them at home on Monday night at 6:15. Our next home game for varsity, or next game for varsity will be senior night at home on the 22nd against Satzer at 7 o'clock.
Well, good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to Carl Malk Stadium in McLeansboro, where today it's Black Diamond Conference football action as the Hamilton County Foxes will be hosting the Fairfield Mules. I'm Randy Olson, and we're glad that you're with us here on the 50-yard line, both on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. I'm flying solo here for the time being. Hopefully Jason Moore will be able to join me a little bit later on. We had hoped to have Garrett Biggerstaff with us doing color commentary today, but he's had something pop up and had to step away for a while, and hope it's nothing serious. But anyway, we hope to have Jason Moore here with us a little bit later on. This is a matchup between two teams that, well, on paper, obviously the Fairfield Mules are going to be heavily favored. They come in with a record of 5-1 on the season, and their only loss, of course, being to the Johnson City Indians. And the Hamilton County Foxes come in with a record of 2-4. The two wins for the Foxes this year were over Edwards County by a score of 30-0, and they also beat El Dorado 38-14. Mules also have a win over El Dorado. They have yet to play Edwards County this year, but again, the Mules are 5-1 on the season. Now, a lot of you watching right now, of course, are familiar with the Foxes as you've watched games before earlier this year. This is our first Mules game to actually do this year as the Foxes come out on the field. A lot of them carrying American flags to lead the green and white out on the field. And even though, of course, the Mules are heavily favored in this one, you know, anything can happen in high school football, so that's why you play the game. And that's why we're here this afternoon to bring you this action. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a little bit warmer than what maybe you would like to have for a Saturday afternoon football game. And some of you might be wondering, well, why are you playing a game on Saturday afternoon if it's not homecoming? Well, quite frankly, there's been a problem getting officials this year for a lot of the high school football games on Friday night. And so some of these Hamilton County games have been moved to Saturdays in order to have officials. And we will pass along the names of those officials for you a little bit later on. Let's take a look right now, though, at some of the stats of the Fairfield Mules, since some of you are watching our broadcast for the first time, perhaps, to see the Mules this year. And they have got a lot of weapons. They're 5-1 on the season, as I said. Quarterback this year is Eric Rogers. He's a junior. It's his first year as quarterback. He has completed 19 of 41 passes this year for 214 yards. He can also run with the ball, too, and actually showed the ability to catch one last week. He caught a 50-yard touchdown pass last week against CZR in their 80-30 win. But they got a lot of weapons on the ground, and, of course, those weapons include Jay Mooring, who's a sophomore, has rushed for 429 yards this year. Dagg, who actually will not be playing today, Connor Dagg, has rushed for 501 yards on the ground this year to lead the Mules, but he has a sprained ankle and will not be in the lineup today for the Mules. And replacing him will be Jackson Combs, who is a 5'10", 210-pound fullback, very well known on the defensive side of the ball for the Mules at linebacker position. He's going to have a chance to carry the ball some today in that fullback position, so it could be kind of a coming-out party today for Jackson Combs. We'll look for him, number 40. Also, of course, at running back position, you've got McGuire Taylor. He's rushed for 314 yards this year. Robbins has rushed for 293 yards for the Mules. Noah Barger has rushed for 234 yards. And Rogers, the carrier, the quarterback himself, has carried the ball for 142 yards. So all in all, the Mules have rushed for over 2,000 yards on the season and average over 8 yards a carry for the season. That's a pretty impressive stat, no matter who you are. And again, the Mules 5-1 on the season. Certainly are going to make the playoffs again this year. And at halftime, we'll talk a little bit about some of the potential teams that they can maybe see in the playoffs this year. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up at halftime. The Hamilton County Foxes, we did the game last week where the Foxes played against Flora. Flora won that game here at Carl Malk Stadium. The Foxes will be playing without Middendorf today as he was penalized with 2 flags for unsportsmanlike conduct last week and then was tossed from the game, and so he will not be able to play per IHSA rule today, so they'll be missing him for certain. We're going to break away for just a moment as they're going to have the playing of the national anthem here, and then we'll be right back with more in a moment. Our national anthem here this afternoon at Carl Malk Stadium, played by the Hamilton County High School Pep Band. All right, well, the Foxes will be wearing their home green uniforms trimmed in the white. The Mules will be wearing their white uniforms trimmed in the black and red. Again, the Mules would be heavily favored on paper, as you would likely expect. Arian Allen, you'll see at running back a lot today for the Foxes. He'll be carrying the ball, and Grady Leakey, of course, is the quarterback. He's passed for about 400 yards this year. Hunter Rhodes, Darian Pike, Wyatt Richards, Zach Wheeler, all those guys will probably be carrying the football today for the Foxes. Sometimes the Mules have been a little bit vulnerable to teams who are successful at passing the ball. So the Foxes might try a few different wrinkles today to try to pass the ball, to try to catch the Mules defense unaware, but we'll see. Foxes will be kicking off to the Mules to start this one this afternoon. Grady Leakey will put the toe to it. And back deep is going to be Mooring for the Mules. It's a short kick, and it's going to be picked up in the backfield there as coming up with it is Noah Barger, and he is tackled at around close to the 30-yard line. That's where the Mules will put it into position, 1st and 10. Again, no Connor Dagg in the lineup today for the Mules as he is out with an injury. But they got plenty of other weapons on this Fairfield offense. Again, Jackson Combs will be in there for him. You're also going to have McGuire Taylor in the backfield, and quarterback, of course, is Eric Rogers. Look for Noah Barger and Jay Mooring to also be carrying the football as well. Eric Rogers is under center on 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. And here's the carry to the left side. It's a good gain up across the 30-yard line, as it's carried by Noah Barger. Picks up a gain of about 8 yards, 7 or 8 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 3. As the ball is resting just over the 35-yard line. Lots of sunshine, warm temperatures today. You got to drink plenty of fluids in a game like this so that you don't cramp up. Here's the pitch this time, and it's going to go to Camden Robbins, and he's tripped up after a short gain of maybe 1. Robbins, of course, outstanding athlete, both as a receiver as well as a running back, is already committed to play football at the next level down at Murray State for the Racers. That's where his dad, Kurt, went to play football as well, so he's going to follow in Dad's footsteps. I told his dad a little bit ago that he's going to break all of his records. Kurt says, "What records? I don't have any records." Here's a quick handoff up the middle. That's going to be a 1st down for the Mules, and getting close to the 45-yard line with it is going to be Jackson Combs. Said that this could be kind of a coming out party for him today, and he picks up 5 yards on the carry. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mules. Here is the rollout this time by Barger as they pitch it to him around the left side. He gets close to midfield where he's tackled by Arian Allen and give him 5 yards on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Mules. Already 13 yards rushing in this one for Noah Barger. Second down and 5 from the 49. Here is Camden Robbins sweeping around the right side. He's got lots of running room. Still on his feet. He's got a 1st down and then some as he's well into Fox's territory, close to the 30-yard line. Big carry there for Robbins. As he picks up 19 yards on that carry.
From the 33-yard line.
Ball will be at the 33 now for the Mules.
Deep in Fox's territory on this opening drive. And here's a sweep by Noah Barger. Breaks one tackle, gets across the 30 to about the 25-yard line. Gain of 7. Barger looking impressive here. You know, he's not a big guy, but he's effective out there. Barger is 5'10", 150 pounds, a senior. Short gain that time. Maybe a yard on that one. Going to leave the Mules with a third down and short, 3rd down and 1. Ball resting at the 24-yard line. Opening drive here for the Mules. This drive started at about their own 29. Here's the pitch to Robbins. He has got the first down as he gets it up to the 20-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 3. And they'll mark it 1st and 10, move the chains, 20-yard line. So the Mules march into the red zone here on their opening drive. Again, last week the Mules were victorious over CZR by a score of 80-30. And, you know, some people were saying, well, the Mules ran up the score. Well, actually they didn't, and I'll explain why here in just a moment, all right? Here's the handoff on the misdirection play, and that's a beautiful carry that time inside the 10. As carrying the mail that time was McGuire Taylor.
Looks like enough yardage for a first down. Gets it just inside the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal.
Taylor picks up 11 yards on that carry, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Mules from about the 9-yard line. Now, what I started to say was the Mules had 10 guys, count them, 10 guys carry the football last week against CZR. 9 different guys scored in the game. Here is the carry by Jackson Combs. He is close to the goal line, and he's in. It's a touchdown run of 9 yards for Jackson Combs, his 2nd carry of the game, and he punches it in to give the Mules an early 6-0 lead. I said that he was substituting this game for Connor Dagg, and he's doing a good job. Combs is 5'10", 210 pounds, so he's not going to be easy to bring down out there. Mules will go for 2. Rogers under center. He's going to run the option this time. He's going to pitch it. And he pitches it for the 2-point conversion out to Robbins. Robbins with the 2-point conversion. And the Mules go up to 8-0 here as they successfully drive some 71 yards on their opening drive to go in front here by a score of 8-0. We'll be back in a moment as the Mules will kick it off to the Foxes. Coming up next on AreaSports.net and FoxesFans.net. It's the heating season, and Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods has you covered with fast, reliable propane delivery service for your home or farm. And if you need those propane bottles filled for your grill or camper, Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods can do it. Looking for a wide selection of guns and ammunition? You'll find it at Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods. You can even search online through their website at wainwrightpropane.com. And don't forget, they also sell propane grills, smokers, and deep fryers at Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods. Back in McLeansboro, where the Mules score on a 9-yard touchdown run by Jackson Combs. 2-point conversion was good to Camden Robbins on the carry, and it's 8-0 as the Mules will kick it off now to the Foxes. So they'll have their first possession of the game as it's a line drive kick. And slipping and falling down with it there at about the 35-yard line is Hunter Rhodes.
Foxes will start from about the 35, 36-yard line.
Yeah, they'll spot it at the 36. That's where this drive will begin. Well, let's see what the Foxes can do offensively here against the Mules. We said that sometimes the Mules have been a little bit vulnerable to teams that pass the ball. It's something that Coach Townsend said he's been working on a lot this year. Mules, of course, have the big guy in the middle there in Logan Kreider. He's 6'9" and 350. He's a wall to run into for sure. Under center is Grady Leakey at quarterback. 3 setbacks in the backfield. And going to give it to the middle ball carrier there. And it's a short gain of about 5 yards on the carry as Darian Pike gets the call on first down. That brings the ball up to the 40-yard line. Call it second down and 5, although we're going to have a penalty. So that's going to nullify that. Take away the 5 yards for Pike and make it first and 15 now. Not a good way to start the game if you're Coach Jason Craig of Hamilton County. Penalty on the first play from scrimmage. So, see what they do here on first and 15. Again, Grady Leakey, quarterback under center. Again, the 3 setbacks. This time it's going to go to Arian Allen. He's going to try to sweep it to the left side. He gets around the corner and picks up a few yards.
Arian Allen on the carry for the Foxes. Picks up about 4. He's second and 11.
So we'll give him 4 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up second down and 11 for the Foxes. Mules have been pretty stingy defensively this year. Of course, now last week against CZR, he had that final score of 80-30, and he gave up 30 points, which is the most points that CZR had scored all year. But again, it turned into kind of a JV contest as the Mules were playing a lot of underclassmen in that one, which, you would expect to, which gives them a lot of experience in a varsity football game. Back to pass this time. Grady Leakey looking over the middle, and it's complete. And on his feet still at midfield. Nice catch on the play, as that was a slant pattern throw to Leighton Karcher, and Karcher takes it into Mules territory at the 45.
Good for a Fox's first down.
That is a 21-yard completion there.
Another 20-yard completion
for Leighton Karcher. And the Foxes are dancing first and 10 at the Mules 45-yard line. Well, I mentioned a little bit ago that the Mules are a little bit vulnerable to the pass, and you saw a good completion there on the slant pattern over the middle. And we got a flag on the play. It's probably going to be motion again on the Foxes.
Motion on the Foxes once again. Start first and 15.
Stops the clock with 5:45 to play here in the first quarter. And they'll step off the yardage against the Foxes. Ball now will be at the 50-yard line. Yeah, Karcher did a good job of not only catching the ball and tucking it in, but getting yards after the catch. Call them yak yards, yards after the catch. Picking up 21 on that play. Here's a handoff up the middle. I think that's Arian Allen on that one. No, wasn't Allen.
Carry up the middle, no gain. Very short gain, if any.
Maybe a yard on the carry.
We'll get in the yard. Be second and 14.
So it'll be second down and 14 now for the Foxes. Under 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. First possession of the game for Hamilton County after the Mules went some 72 yards to score in their opening drive, marched down the field and scored on a 9-yard touchdown run by Jackson Combs, who's in the game for Connor Dagg today, who's nursing a sprained ankle. Here is the handoff again, and a short gain of maybe another yard for the Foxes, but the Mules defense swarms, as the ball carrier that time was Hunter Rhodes. We'll give him 2 yards. It'll be third down and about 12 and a half yards. Mules pretty stingy against the run. They are 5-1 on the season. They only lost, of course, to Johnson City. From the shotgun this time, looks like a passing situation for quarterback Grady Leakey. He's looking over the middle. Now comes out to the right side. And the pass is caught along the sideline there as it is hauled in by Leighton Karcher, his second catch of the game. Going to be well short of a first down, though.
Short game will bring up 4th and 9 for the Foxes.
Give him 3 yards on the catch. 4th down and 9. Ball is in Fairfield territory. The Foxes do look like they will punt it, though.
Keith Ruffman back to punt for the Foxes. Deep for the Mules, number 20, McGuire Taylor.
McGuire Taylor's back deep for Fairfield to receive the punt. And here is a punt. It's a good one. It's a high one. And it's going to take a Foxes bounce. Going to go down inside the 10-yard line to about the 7, and that's where the Mules will put it into play. So the Foxes have to punt the ball away. Fairfield will get their second possession here, leading at 8-0. 2:55 to play here in the first quarter.
Just a reminder, the junior class are selling hot dogs and pork chops down in the concession stand area.
Foxes did pick up a couple of first downs in that drive.
For the day's game, plus they're giving away some other raffle items later this week and in February.
2 more weeks of football season after this. Here is the Mules on first down as a handoff goes to Noah Barger.
Noah Barger will cut back. Picks up about 8. It'll be 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 4. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the carry there for Noah Barger. That's 28 yards on the ground unofficially that I've got Barger for so far here in the first quarter. Again, he's a tricky runner. He can make you miss. Even though he's not real big, at 5'10", 150 pounds, he slices and dices. Here's a sweep to the right side. It's Jay Mooring this time with the carry. And Mooring breaks one tackle and heads on down the sideline, gets up close to the 30-yard line. It's going to be first down for the Mules, and that's a carry for about 11 yards for Jay Mooring.
First and 10 Mules from the 26-yard line.
So first and 10 at the 26. Mules have already had 5 different guys carry the ball in this game offensively. First and 10 from the 26. Here's the carry coming to the left side this time as the Foxes swarm, but not until it's about a 3-yard gain, maybe 4 yards there for Jackson Combs.
Combs around the left side. Future Flanagan.
Actually, we'll give him 5. 2nd down and 5 as Combs has shown the ability to carry that football. Known for his defense.
He's 2nd and 5.
At linebacker position, he's a tough one to tackle at 210 pounds. 2nd and 5 from the 31. Rolling out this time, and a quarterback keeper is Eric Rogers. Picked up a couple of yards.
Picks up about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 1.
We'll give him 4 on the carry. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 with the ball at the 35, and we're under a minute to play here in this first quarter. Here's a carry up the middle, very close to first down yardage. Let's see where they spot the football.
Short game. Initial spot looks like it's going to be short of the first down.
So it'll be, yep, they do. They mark it first down. They're going to move the chains. Got just enough on the forward progress. Clock winding down to 38 seconds and counting here in the first quarter. Been a quick first quarter. Only had a couple of penalties called, both against the Foxes. Rogers under center, 2 setbacks. He's going to drop back to pass this time, and he throws it over the middle, intended for Robbins, and it's tipped around and falls to the ground incomplete. Double coverage back there on Robbins. He gets a lot of attention because of his ability to go up and get it. He's a tall target at 6'3", 185 pounds. Stops the clock with 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We mentioned in the pregame stats that Rogers has thrown for 214 yards this season, so he's got the ability to throw the pass. It's not just a running team here, Fairfield Mules. Here's the option play again. Rogers going to keep it, and he rumbles across the 40-yard line up to about the 43.
Rogers picks up about 8. It'll be 3rd and 2.
We will give him 8 yards on the carry. Bring up 3rd down and 2. That's going to be the final play of the first quarter. After one period of play, it is Fairfield 8, Hamilton County nothing. And we'll come back with second quarter action here live from Karl Mach Stadium in just a moment on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net.
In today's environment, being able to do all of your banking from home is not only convenient, but a necessity. People's National Bank makes it easy for you to do your banking without actually going to the bank. From online banking, mobile banking, free mobile deposit, to transferring funds and paying bills, it's easy and convenient for you to do your banking all from your mobile phone or computer. Get started by going to peoplesnationalbank.com to sign up for online banking today. People's National Bank, making it easy to bank from anywhere. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here to Karl Mach Stadium. A warm, sunny Saturday afternoon here. Black Diamond Conference football as the Fairfield Mules lead the Hamilton County Foxes 8-0 as we start second quarter action. Mules are on a current drive here where they are marching down the field, getting close to midfield position again. Teams change ends here after that quarter break. Mules now heading towards the south end zone. We'll run down some of the scores for you from last night here in just a moment. All right, 3rd down and 2 for the Mules. Ball at the 44-yard line. Here is the give to Camden Robbins. He has got first down yardage, I believe. Picked up 2, maybe 3.
Pick up the first down after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
They'll move the chains again and spot the ball 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Robbins still not 100% yet from the shoulder injury that he had earlier this year, but he's getting better. He had over 100 yards of offense last week against CZR, and the Mules win. Here is the pitch this time to McGuire Taylor. He's running to the left, and he gets it across midfield.
Taylor on the carry will pick up about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And they'll mark it at the 49. A 4-yard gain for McGuire Taylor. It gives him 15 on the ground for the half. Unofficially, of course. 2nd and 6 for the Mules in Fox's territory. Here's the pitch again to Robbins. He tries to get around the corner, and he's met by a trio of Foxes there and doesn't get any gain at all. Forward progress, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Taken down by Karcher.
Karcher on the hit there for the Foxes. They smelled that one coming.
Gain a short yard, it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I might have given him a half yard, so we'll call it 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 48-yard line. 10:19 to play here in the first half. Rogers from the shotgun this time. He's going to pass it out to the left side. It is complete out there to Blaine Milner. Milner is on the move. He's got a first down and then some for the Mules along the left sideline. Gets it down to about the 33-yard line. 15-yard play.
About a 15-yard pass completion. 1st and 10 from the 34.
Again, a lot of weapons on this Mules team, both on the ground and in the air. Milner is another senior. He's 5'9", 155 pounds for Coach Townsend and the Mules. I formation this time. Here is the pitch to the left side. It goes to Mooring, and Mooring is stopped.
Mr. Mooring, can you bring up a loss on the play?
He lost probably a yard on that one.
Futrell and Webb in for the loss of 2. It'll be second and 12.
thing you got to remember about some of these guys is, there's some young guys on this Mules team too. I mean, Mooring is just a sophomore, 5'11", 175 pounds. 9:09 to play here in the first half. And again, from the shotgun this time, it'll be Rogers. One to pass, but the whistle blows. We're going to have
Before the snap, there'll be a timeout.
Timeout prior to the snap. Mules got the timeout prior to the snap. So we'll come back with that second down play in just a moment. It'll be 2nd and 12 when we return here to McLeansboro. Carter Turf and Tractor is now open in their beautiful new location on West Main Street in Fairfield in the former Save-A-Lot building. Carter Turf and Tractor is your area dealer for high-quality Kubota tractors in a variety of sizes, perfect for a landscaping business or to easily handle a variety of jobs around your home or farm. They can customize a solution for your needs. They also have the Kubota RTV utility vehicles for on-road and off-road transportation and hauling needs. When there's mowing or lawn work to be done, Carter Turf and Tractor has you covered with Exmark riding mowers and walk-behind mowers. They also feature a good selection of Echo brand brush cutters, trimmers, and chainsaws, as well as Honda and Generac generators. Come in and see for yourself at the new Carter Turf and Tractor, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 8 to 2 on Saturday. Back here at McLeansboro, where the Fairfield Mules lead the Hamilton County Foxes 8-0 with 8:59 to play here in the first half. This is the second possession of the game for the Mules as they're trying to keep another sustained drive going towards pay dirt. They have 2nd down and 12 with ball at the 35-yard line of the Foxes. They're going to spread it out a little bit this time. 3 receivers to the right. Single setback. He's in motion and catching the ball. Out there is McGuire Taylor. And Taylor breaks one tackle and gets up to about the 25-yard line. Going to be short of a first down, but it is positive yardage for the Mules. They got a good chunk of those 12 yards they needed. Got about 10 of them. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 on the 10-yard pass reception by McGuire Taylor. So Milner's caught one for 15. Taylor's caught one for 10. Having that passing option keeps the defense honest against the Mules' run. And there's a quick handoff up the middle as Jackson Combs gets the first down for the Mules, rumbles up to about the 15-yard line.
And about a 10-yard pickup. 1st and 10 from the 15.
And for Combs, that is unofficially 29 yards on the ground for him so far here in the first quarter. Playing in place of Connor Dagg in that backfield this afternoon. Of course, he's got a 9-yard touchdown run to his credit as well. Here's Rogers rolling out to the left, running that option. He pitches it out to Noah Barger, and Barger gets inside the 10.
Pitch to Barger, be short of the first down.
It's inside the 10.
Will be 2nd and 3.
And we'll give him 7 yards on that one. So the ball is on the 8-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Here's the option play again, and keeping it is Rogers. He's going to take it all the way in to the end zone. Rogers on the 8-yard touchdown run for the Mules on the quarterback keeper. Just rumble along the left side, and that puts the Mules up 14-0. As you see on the Edward Jones Financial scoreboard, courtesy of Tim Millenbein. They'll go for 2. 2 possessions for the Mules, 2 touchdowns so far in this one. And rolling out with it and getting close to the goal line is McGuire Taylor. And he is denied, does not quite get in, and so the score will remain Fairfield 14 and the Foxes nothing. So the Mules will kick off to Hamilton County when we come back. And we'll take another short break timeout. Be back with more here live from McLeansville in just a moment.
The difference between profit and loss is razor thin in today's market. Luckily, your GSI dealer is there to help you stay in the black. Capturing futures carry and improving your basis with increased on-farm storage on average could earn a 50-cent per bushel difference. Taking advantage of early harvest and saving with on-farm drying makes a profitability difference. Proven and dependable grain systems that boost your bottom line, that's the GSI difference.
All right, back here live from McLeansboro. The Mules will kick it off after that touchdown drive. And here's a short kick, and it's fielded at about the 25-yard line and brought up close to the 40. Going to be pretty good field position for the Foxes as Rhodes brought it up. So the Foxes get it back, trailing it here 14-0. Hunter Rhodes on that return. Got it up to the 39 is where this drive will start for the Foxes. They were able to get a couple of first downs against the Mules defense. We'll see maybe they can build upon that. Grady Leakey at quarterback. 3 receivers split to the left. Going to roll out to the left. Going to keep the football. And going to be tackled across the 40-yard line at about the 42. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play by quarterback Grady Leakey. It'll bring up about 2nd down and 7 for the Foxes. Has the ball spotted pretty close to the 43-yard line. Well, we're still flying solo here this afternoon, so bear with us as we're multitasking here. We're doing the stats, the scoring, the camera, the graphics. Yeah, trying to do it all. Not easy on football. Hard enough in basketball, really tough in football, let me tell you. All right, from the shotgun, Grady Leakey looks to pass. He does. It's over the middle, and it's incomplete as the pass was intended there for Aiden Futrell. Incomplete. It was close, but didn't quite haul it in. Stops the clock with 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. 3rd down and 7 coming up here for the Foxes. Again, the ball on the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Yeah, I was hoping to have one of 2 different guys come and do color commentary and stats with me today, and something has come up with both of them. So it's just one of those days. But we'll carry on. Just happy to be able to bring you the action here live. Here's a rush by the Mules, but the Foxes get the pass completed, but really it's maybe a loss on the play. Good pursuit defensively by the Mules. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, actually, on that play. The pass was complete. It's going to bring up 4th down, another punting situation, 4th down and 6 in your own territory. You got to punt it away in this situation. And that's what the Foxes are going to do. Back deep is McGuire Taylor, as well as Noah Barger. They're going to let this one bounce. It's a high one, and it's going to be touched by the Foxes. About the 30-yard line is where that one comes to rest, and that's where the Mules will put it into play, 1st and 10. And again, this will be their 3rd possession of the game.
From the 30-yard line.
2 punts by the Foxes, none by the Mules. 5:43 to play here in the first half, and another timeout on the field. Timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. Be back with more in just a moment. Vaughn Equipment is a family-owned and operated business in Fairfield that's committed to providing quality equipment to the farm, construction, tractor-trailer, marine, and oil field industries. They feature a great selection of new and pre-owned trucks, trailers, farm equipment, construction equipment, and rental equipment. Their inventory changes weekly, and you can see it all in person or on their website. Whatever you're looking for to do the job right, Vaughn Equipment can help you. They're located at 1102 South 1st Street in Fairfield, or call 842-3500. Back here at McLeansboro, where the Mules lead it over the Foxes 14-0. A little bit of a glare off the glass in here. I apologize for that. It's part of what happens when you're in a booth on a sunny Saturday afternoon. I did have the maintenance guy come up here and try to pull these screens and windows out, and was not successful in doing that, so we're going to have to just continue to shoot through the screen and the windows, so we apologize for that, but as the old saying is, some is better than none, right? That's what Danny would say. All right, Mules have it, 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Two wide receivers to the right. There's a bad snap as it's, well, it was a good snap, just fumbled there by Rogers, but he picks it up and tries to make something out of it and gets maybe a yard on the carry.
Rogers, after fumbling the snap, picks up 5.
Kind of hit him in the numbers of the shoulder pad, bounced off the shoulder pad, and he picked it up real quick and scrambled with it. Actually ended up picking up about 5 yards. So we'll call it 2nd down and 5 after the scramble there by Rogers. Here is the carry to the left side. As the option again by Rogers. He puts up a 1st down, another 5-yard carry. Rogers, of course, with an 8-yard touchdown run in this game. Now has 30 yards on the ground himself here in the first half. 1st and 10 with ball at 41-yard line. Mules with their 3rd possession of the day. Rogers wants to pass, rolls out to the right, now finds running room. Comes back across the grain, definitely has running room, still on his feet. Gets it into Fox's territory all the way up to the 40-yard line. That is, about 19 or 20 yards for Eric Rogers on that carry. Yeah, we'll call it 19. Couldn't find anybody open on the pass play, so he just took off. And he outran the defense all the way into the Foxes' territory at the 40-yard line. Clock still running here with 4:11 to play in the first half. Mules trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Got 3 receivers out to the right. Here's a handoff, though, to Jackson Combs, and he's going to be buried under at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Run up the middle, stop for no gain. Flag on the play.
Coming up halftime, we will run through some scores from all the area football games last night, in case you missed some of them. We're also going to kind of talk a little bit about the potential playoff situation for Fairfield. Obviously not going to be a playoff season this year for Hamilton County, but the Mules are very much in the playoff picture. And assuming that things hold true for the rest of this game and the Mules pick up victory number 6 today, you can start to speculate who a playoff opponent might be. Here's a pass out to Camden Robbins as he comes across the grain, and he's tackled after a nice gain and gets another 1st down for the Mules.
Pass from Rogers to Robbins, good enough for a 1st down, gain of about 11.
Give him 11 yards on that catch. And that'll be 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. .322 to play here in the half. Rogers wanted to throw it. He's going to air it out this time, and it is down there to Noah Barger, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. 2 Foxes back in double coverage that time on Barger. Stops the clock with 3:14 to play. Bring up 2nd down and 10. Ball still at the 28-yard line. Mules threatening to score again. Had 2 long sustained drives already that resulted in points. Both of those were touchdown runs. Here's a double handoff this time, and ending up with the football is McGuire Taylor. And Taylor gets it up to the 20.
Get it to the 20. That'll be about an 8-yard pickup. Bring up 3rd and 2.
8 yards for Taylor on the carry. Give him 23 for the half. Under 3 minutes to play now. Here is the keeper by Rogers.
Around the right
Picks
end.
up about 5 on that carry.
Enough for a first down. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
They'll move the chains again. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. So again, the Mules have had, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys carry the football here in the first half. 3 guys catch passes. 3 players with the receptions. So moving the ball in multiple ways. 1st and 10 from the 15. Rogers going to give it to Robbins. Robbins runs to the right side, looking to get it inside the 10, but he's stopped at about the 11. Pick up about 4 on the play. Robbins at 6'3" can kind of see that defense a little easier than the 5'10" guys as he's running with the football. Minute 39 left here in the first half. 2nd and 7, ball on the 12-yard line. Rogers is going to give it to McGuire Taylor, and Taylor is going to be very close to the 5-yard line. Picks up about 7 for Taylor. 3rd down and 1, ball on the 6. And Foxes are going to have to take a timeout. They didn't have enough guys on the field. Didn't want to take the penalty. So they'll take the timeout. And we'll take one as well and be right back. This broadcast is made possible by Barnard Soil Service, located in Wayne City, offering multiple services to the farming community, including crop input recommendations, custom application, field records, seed test plots, seed treatment, soil testing, and much more. Barnard Soil Service is located at 303 East Smith Street in Wayne City, and their phone number is 895-2116. Additional details available on the company website at barnards.com. Barnard Soil Service in Wayne City. Probably not the way you want to use one of your timeouts in this situation, but again, the Foxes didn't have enough players on the field, couldn't get the substitute in that they needed to. So they use a timeout here with 66 seconds to go in the first half.
As we resume play,
It'll be 3rd down and 1 with ball at the 6-yard line for the Foxes, or for the Mules in Foxes territory. Knocking on the door again, trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Rogers brings them up to the line. He's got Luke Sork in the backfield with him this time. He does some help blocking there as the Mules get close to the goal line.
6-yard carry by McGuire Taylor.
McGuire Taylor gets credited for the touchdown from 5 yards out. Give him the TD. So 3 different TDs by 3 different people here this afternoon. Jackson Combs, Eric Rogers, McGuire Taylor, all in pay dirt. Makes it 20-0, and the Mules will go for 2 again. Rogers under center. And he's going to pitch it to Mooring, I believe. And the Foxes grab him by the shirt tail.
Tackling the backfield by Wyatt Richards denies the
Richards
two-point
with the
conversion.
stop defensively for the
39.9
Foxes.
to go in
So
the first half.
Mules have only
lead
converted one of 3
20-0.
attempts on 2-point conversions this afternoon, but nonetheless they lead this one by a score of 20-0. And we'll be back with the ensuing kickoff here in just a moment, live from Karl Mach Stadium. Valpo Home Furnishings has been serving the area for nearly 30 years with quality furniture, appliances, and bedding. Their goal at Valpo Home Furnishings is to give you a great selection of home furnishings, appliances, and bedding at a great price with outstanding hometown customer service. If you're in the market for new or updated furniture, appliances, or bedding, check out the selection at Valpo's, 103 East Main Street on the south side of the square in McLeansboro, and visit their website at valpohomefurnishings.com. Here is the ensuing kickoff after the touchdown by the Mules, and we've got a whistle. Might be somebody offside here on the kick. Let's see.
Legal procedure
No, yep.
on the Mules.
A little movement there by the Mules, so they'll step off some yardage against Fairfield. Got to stay set. This is Shane Garner and officiating crew here this afternoon.
5-yard mark off.
A lot of you know Shane is the head basketball coach down at Cesarville. He's wearing stripes this afternoon here at this football game. All right, Mules will try it again. This time they'll kick it from the 35. And it's fielded at about the 30. And up the field across the 40 to about the 42-yard line by Hunter Rhodes. Hunter Rhodes with the return, and we got 53 seconds to go here in the first half. Let's see if the Foxes can get something going, as they have pretty good field position here at their own 42-yard line, where they'll put it in play 1st and 10. Foxes have managed a couple of first downs, but have not been able to really put a sustained drive together, as the Mules defense has been pretty stingy, as they have been much of the season against most opponents. Although Fairfield has trailed at halftime in 3 different games this year, but still 5-1 on the year. Grady Leakey is going to hand it off, and he does, to Zach Wheeler, as Wheeler brings it up to maybe a short gain. Not much. Just a little bit beyond the line of scrimmage. We'll give him a half a yard maybe.
Half a yard, we'll call it 2nd and 9.
Clock winding down here to 32 seconds. Going to have to hurry to get another play in. 2nd down and 9. Ball at 43. Here's a handoff again. This is to Rhodes, and not much there. Again, that line of scrimmage being won by the Mules at this point.
No gain on the play.
Down to 10 seconds. Going to hurry if you're going to get another play off. This is probably going to wrap up the half. And the Foxes are walking off the field. It will be the end of the first half. So, at halftime, our score is Fairfield Mules 20 and the Hamilton County Foxes nothing. And we'll come back and look at some halftime stats. Talk a little bit about playoff implications, perhaps, for the Mules. Kind of contemplate who might be a playoff opponent for them. And we'll take a look at scores from around the area from last night. All that and more coming up here live on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve with home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Talk to State Farm agent Lynn Braden in McLeansboro today.
Back here live at Karl Mock Stadium, I'm Randy Olson, and Mark Auden has joined me here, and he's been doing the PA duties here this afternoon for this football game. And Mark, it's been all Mules so far, 20-0, and they've had, looks like they've had, 6 different guys carry the football, 3 different guys catch passes on the receiving end, so a lot of weapons for Coach Justin Townsend and this Mules team.
Yeah, they've got 16 seniors that dress, and I think it's either 10 or 12 juniors. So, I mean, they get kids out from each of the classes that just gives them so much depth of talent. And this senior class was probably one of their better ones with depth, and they don't even have their best running back in the game today as well.
That's true.
So, I mean, you throw that in there, and it gets even. I mean, Connor Dagg.
Just came in with 501 yards on the ground this year, and he's not playing. He's got a sprained ankle. So,
So, I mean, they've got the weapons, and it goes that way every year. I mean, Fairfield just reloads. They had their conference winning streak broke earlier in the season by Johnson City, but
really comes down to a numbers game. And when you have as many numbers of players come out for football at Fairfield year in, year out like they do, it gives Coach Townsend, it's a real luxury to have that, because you see so many football programs around in every class, every size of enrollment, going down in the number of football players they have. But at Fairfield, they seem to just stay steady every year.
Winning has a lot to do with that, too,
Yep,
I think.
sure does.
You are consistently winning year after year after year, and, I mean, we're not just saying a winning record. We're saying dominating the conference year after year after year. You get kids that want to be involved with that. And Foxes were hoping after this year or after last year of getting into the playoffs, actually seeing a rise in the program here. They do have some more numbers this year, but it's still not where it needs to be to get a solid program going.
But you do have wonderful new facilities here at Hamilton County and McLeansboro. I mean, it's still the same football field, but I mean the grandstand here, the press box, the locker rooms, the concession stands, the bathrooms, that's all new, and that's all great, and that just kind of adds to the whole atmosphere here.
Definitely. I have had I didn't make it here last week with the Flora game, but they really had not been to this facility beforehand, but I've had the honor of talking to Coach Townsend before the game today, and then also to the El Dorado staff before their game. And, I mean, they're just raving about said how nice everything is here now compared to what it used to be, the huge press box up here to allow everybody that needs to be up here, and an ample area upstairs for the coaching staff to be able to spread out. And then, like you said, brand new locker rooms that prior to past years they'd have to take turns going into the locker room to get dressed. And now they've got a nice locker room where they can go in and get dressed, but they're still taking advantage of sitting outside in the breeze today and enjoying this 85-degree weather.
Well, I was here last week to do the Flora game against the Foxes, and the Flora coaching staff and everybody was very complimentary of the facilities here, too, because they hadn't been here, in many, many years, of course, not being in the same conference, but they saw vast improvements, and they were very complimentary. And speaking of Flora, how about them as an addition to the Black Diamond Conference, both in football and basketball? I think it's fantastic. I think they're a great fit. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's still going to be a nice little drive to go up to Flora, but it's not going to be nearly as long as it was
Chester
to go to Chester, and then we only played them in football anyway, and to pick up a team that's probably going to be very strong in football and basketball. We already know that they're good in basketball year in and year out, and I'm sure that looking at what we've seen last week from them, they've got some talent at the football level as well.
And they're good in baseball as well.
Definitely.
Good in all the sports. And then their girls athletics, their girls basketball, girls volleyball, it's competitive as well. So, yeah, I think a great addition to the Black Diamond Conference having the Flora Wolves and Wolf Gals come in. I was contemplating here about what may be a possible playoff opponent for the Fairfield Mules. And, of course, a lot of that's going to depend upon whether they stay in Class 2A or 3A. Right now, as of today, IHSA still has them listed as a 2A school, but they're the largest school in 2A at 423, which means they could easily bump up to 3A and probably will.
That's been their downfall year after year, that they sneak into that 3A, that somebody
and then they become the smallest school in 3A.
Then they become the smallest school, and they might succeed that first week because they'll play somebody probably out of our conference or somebody in this area, but then they have to go up the way and find another larger school, and they've really struggled to get out of the second round in football.
Mules should win this game today and hold on. That would go 6-1, and honestly, they should end up 8-1 at the end of the season. So if they go into the playoffs at 8-1, you would think that they're going to play somebody that's 5-4 or 6-3, somebody like that, more than likely. If they stay in 2A, a couple of the schools that I see on the radar right now that could be potential playoff opponents if they stay at 2A would be the Lawrenceville Indians, who are currently 4-3, and Redbud, who's also currently 4-3, and both those teams should pick up their 5th wins here in the next couple of weeks. So there's a couple of teams within a reasonable geographic area that could be. But then again, you could have a team from the conference too, like Carmi. Could also, they're 4-2. Well, now they're 5-2 after their win.
Yeah, they made this.
So they're in. So I mean, that could be a possible opponent too, is to turn around and play them again. But if they move up to 3A, like a lot of people think they will, and like they've done in the past, you begin to look at teams like DuQuoin, Anna Jonesboro, Newton. Those teams are
geographically, you probably see them playing somebody like a Newton.
Yeah, because they're 5-2 or 4-3 right now.
And
you could even look at a Piasaw Southwestern. It could be
one
a
of the things I'm
too.
looking at as well is with a lot of the forfeits you've seen this year, and it's not just in this conference with Vienna not having enough players to be able to field a varsity team, but Pinckneyville's been hit and miss throughout the year. There's been 3 or 4 other teams. We had to cancel one of our games against Christopher earlier in the year due to COVID outbreaks, and we've seen that throughout the year. Does the IHSA look at that and say, okay, this team's Johnson City, for instance. Johnson City's not undefeated because they decided to go, I believe it was against Nashville, the first week of the season, and wanted to play somebody and not just take a forfeit.
And that's a quality opponent. You're playing Nashville for sure.
Right. So I mean, they ended up with a loss, but all the same, it's a good loss for them. So I'm just curious where the IHSA is going to look at different things like that with a number of these wins that might actually be through forfeit, especially if a team has come across 2 of their wins that year due to a COVID outbreak or just playing a team that didn't have enough players.
No, I agree, and it will be very interesting to see how they do that.
Especially if they are 5-4.
Yeah, because we're in different territory now. I mean, Flora, for example, was trying to play a game last night with Shelbyville. But at the last minute, Shelbyville came down with COVID, and Flora was trying to do that instead of taking the forfeit win, with Vienna. But, again, then they get burned because of the COVID on Shelbyville. So Flora was concerned that if they end up 5-4 and one of those 5 wins being a forfeit win, that they may not get in the playoffs.
Right.
And I understand that. So that's why they were going to play and willing to play Shelbyville last night, who was going to come in as a
replacement.
4-1 opponent, I think. Pretty good team. So who knows what would have happened.
Once again, they were looking for somebody to pick up because they were probably in the same situation.
Yeah. Sure is, Hey, we'll come back and take a look at some first-half stats here and some scores from around the area last night in just a moment.
Jagger's Doggy Daycare. Your dog's home, away from home.
Do you have a dog that is shedding? We provide de-shed treatments at Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. De-shed treatments get rid of a lot of unwanted hair so it doesn't end up all over your house. Your dog will look better, feel great, and smell wonderful. Call and schedule a de-shed treatment for your dog at Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon.
Jagger's Doggy Daycare.
To the concession stand and buy those 50-50 tickets.
All right, back here at McLeansboro, we've got some first-half stats for you. We mentioned that 6 different guys carried the football for the Fairfield Mules in the first half, and I've got Eric Rogers, the quarterback, leading the team in rushing with 54 yards. Also, McGuire Taylor, 35 yards. Noah Barger, 35 yards. Camden Robbins, 33 yards. Jackson Combs, 29 yards on the ground, and Jay Mooring with 11 yards on the ground. So, again, a lot of offense, a lot of different guys carrying the football and having success for the Mules here in the first half. Also, you've got catches offensively by Camden Robbins for an 11-yard catch, McGuire Taylor on a 10-yard catch, and Milner on a 15-yard grab for the Mules. So, again, they're moving the football many different ways. They've had 3 long sustained drives, punched in the end zone 3 different times. You had a touchdown run of 9 yards by Jackson Combs. You had an 8-yard touchdown run by Eric Rogers and a 5-yard touchdown run by McGuire Taylor. Only one of the 2-point conversions was successful, however, and the halftime score here for the Mules is 20-0 as they lead it here at halftime. Let's see if we can get to some scores from last night, in case you missed some of the football scores around the area. In the Black Diamond, it was Carmi over El Dorado, 44-30. Johnson City over Cesar Valere, 35-14. Christopher Ziegler-Royalton beat Edwards County, 26-13. In the River to River last night, Nashville all over Pinckneyville, 71-0. DuQuoin over Anna Jonesboro, 34-21. We mentioned that DuQuoin and Anna Jonesboro both would be a potential playoff opponent, maybe, for the Mules if they moved up to 3A. Benton beat Massac County last night 48-12. Murfreesboro all over Harrisburg 64-14, and Heron over West Frankfort 16-6. Now next week there'll be a great matchup in the River to River, as you're going to see Benton and Murfreesboro play each other for what will be the championship of the River to River Conference, and so that's looking like that's going to be a heck of a football game next week. South 7 Conference last night, Mount Vernon had to forfeit their game against Cahokia. They didn't have enough players due to injury, illnesses, and what have you. It was Carbondale over Belleville-Altough 31-21, and Marion beat Centralia 37-6. In the Cahokia Conference last night, it was Columbia over Salem 46-7. Breeze Central beat Roxana 42-35. Freeburg over East Alton Wood River 42-6. A triple overtime game last night between Carlisle and Sparta. That would have been a fun one to see. Carlisle prevailed in that one, 26-20 in triple overtime. And it was Redbud over Trenton Westland by a score of 27-21. Redbud was one of the teams that I mentioned could be a potential playoff opponent for the Mules if they were to stay in 2A. Lawrenceville could be another one. Carmi could be another one. Potential playoff opponent if the Mules were to stay in 2A. But again, the Mules are the largest school in 2A with a enrollment of 423, so they could easily bump up again to 3A, where they would be the smallest school enrollment-wise in 3A. So we'll just have to see how the IHSA plays it. And there's so many ifs, ands, and buts this year, particularly with COVID and all the forfeit wins. You just don't know how they're going to do that in terms of the playoff points and how they're going to structure it this year. It's a lot of things. We're in an unknown territory, really. In the Little Illini Conference last night, Mount Carmel Aces remained undefeated. They beat Newton 43-7. Lawrenceville over Robinson 12-9. Paris over Olney 36-12. Red Hill over Marshall 16-14. In the Mississippi Valley Conference last night, Triad over Jerseyville 38-13. Mascoutah, they are a powerhouse. They beat Bethalto Civic Memorial 70-28. Highland over Waterloo 48-14. South Central Conference last night, Vandalia over Piasaw Southwestern 42-6. Piasaw Southwestern could be another potential playoff opponent if you go to 3A. Pana over Greenville 68-21. Carlinville over Litchfield 48-zip. In the Apollo Conference last night, Effingham beat Lincoln 34-22. Mattoon over Charleston by a score of 32-27. Non-conference games last night, it was Chester losing to Decatur St. Teresa 47-14. Carterville over Madison 54-32. Mount Zion over Collinsville 36-21. Here it is 20-0. The Mules lead the Foxes at halftime, and we will come back with second half out here live from Karl Marx Stadium in a moment.
As farmers have had to reimagine themselves, so have the companies they work with. At Pioneer Seed, their teams are dedicated to serving farmers year-round with the most advanced technologies and localized expertise. They are committed to adapting with the changing industry to serve you today, tomorrow, and years from now. Christopher Johnson is ready to work side by side with you in the most complex and rewarding industry on earth, farming. Christopher Johnson, your Pioneer Seed representative.
Renshaw Title and Abstract has been purchased by Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law, and has reopened under its new name, Mount Vernon Title Company. Through the resources of Olson & Reeves, Mount Vernon Title Company offers title insurance and title examinations for residential and commercial properties, as well as deed preparation, closings, signings, and escrow services. If you're involved in a real estate transaction, depend on Mount Vernon Title Company at 1015 Broadway, downtown Mount Vernon. You can call them at 316-7322. That's 316-7322. All right, back here at Karl Marx Stadium where the sun is shining brightly again as we're ready for second half action. And Foxes will receive the kick to start the second half. Offensively for the Foxes, really not to report. Not a whole lot to report. Only a couple of first downs. One of the bright spots was a couple of receptions by Leighton Karcher. One was a 21-yard grab, and then he had a 3-yard grab as well. But Hunter Rhodes, Arian Allen, Darian Pike, Grady Leakey, they all have been stymied on the ground and haven't been able to do too much against this tough Mules defense. As the kickoff is picked up back about the 15-yard line by the Foxes as gets across the 30. As Rhodes gets it across the 35 to about the 36. Looked like he was going to fumble the football. Kind of struggled to pick it up at first, but then kind of reset his feet, got his shoulder square, took off, and rumbled up for about a 20-yard return after picking up the football. So that's where the Foxes will put it into play. 1st and 10. Start this second half at the 36-yard line. Will they try to pass the ball more since they've not had too much success with the ground game? We'll see. Grady Leakey at quarterback will operate from the shotgun. A couple setbacks there. He's got a receiver to each side, and he's going to hand it off to Arian Allen. Allen picks up about 5 yards on the carry. And that's the biggest carry of the day so far for Arian Allen. So nice hole opened up by the offensive line that time for the Foxes. Just underway here in the third quarter of play. Again from the shotgun, Grady Leakey. Takes a snap and hands it off again, and it's a short gain this time by Allen, maybe a yard or two. Gets it up to about the 42-yard line.
Biggs in on the tackle for the Mules. Bring up 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5 upcoming here. With the ball on the 42-yard line. Mules have scored 3 times on the ground in this game, but have been successful in throwing some passes as well. And a big first half of rushing for quarterback Eric Rogers. We had him for 54 yards on the ground, including an 8-yard touchdown jaunt. Here's a handoff again to Allen. And Allen looking to go up the middle. Not much there, though. Gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage.
Bring up 4th and 4.
4th down. Will the Foxes punt it, or will they go for it? Still in their own territory, but you're trailing 20-0. Looks to me like they're going to go for it. 4th down and 4. Yep, they're going to send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Let's see what happens. Looks like they may throw the ball, unless this is going to be a little deception. Linebacker looks like he wants to blitz. Instead, the Foxes will try to throw it, but here comes the blitz, and the Mules are successful in throwing Leakey for a loss, but we do have a flag on the play. Let's sort it out here. Linebackers for the Mules were trying to shoot the gap.
Leakey sacked on the play. Personal foul.
It is going to be face mask on the Mules. Personal foul. So that's a break for the Foxes. That'll be an automatic 1st down, plus they'll step off the yardage. And that'll take the ball up to about the 48-yard line. So a big break there. I believe that was the first penalty of the game on the Mules, if I'm not mistaken. Comes at an opportune time if you're a Foxes fan. 9:30 to play here in the third quarter. Good pursuit defensively by the Mules on that play, but just got a hold of the face mask. Fox is going to line up with 3 receivers again. On 1st and 10 from the 47. Man in motion, they hand it off instead to Arian Allen, and he picks up maybe a yard. Not much there, as the Mules' defensive line is winning the war there in the trenches. Again, you've got Logan Kreider there at 6'9", 350 pounds, and he'd be a load for anybody to try to move. Luke Duckworth in there, 6'4", 245 pounds. And also Caleb Gonzalez at 6 foot, 310 pounds. That's a lot of meat on the hoof. 2nd down and 9 for the Foxes. Little pitch out this time to the right side. Running room. 1st down yardage into Mules territory on the play is Hunter Rhodes. Hunter Rhodes takes it across midfield up to the Mules' 40-yard line. That is a gain of 12 yards for Rhodes. And that is the biggest carry of the day on the ground for the Foxes. So it's another 1st down for the Foxes, one by the penalty and one by the 12-yard gain there by Hunter Rhodes. And the Foxes are dancing in the Mules' 40-yard line now. 1st and 10, 7:49 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Again, from the shotgun, it's Leakey. He's going to hand it off to Rhodes. And there's a fumble, and I think the Mules are on it. They sure are. Hunter Biggs comes in and recovers it. Biggs is a 5'10", 195-pound defensive tackle, and he saw the pigskin on the grass, and he jumped on it big time. So it's a turnover, 1st turnover of the game, and the Mules will take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line after the fumble. Biggs with the recovery. 7:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Double wideouts, and here's the pass out to the right side, completed to Blaine Milner, and Milner is stopped for a loss, actually, as the Foxes' defense responded well to that one.
For a loss for the Foxes. Bring up 2nd and 11.
Ball on the 41. Milner had caught a 15-yard pass earlier in the game. Rogers from the shotgun is going to hand it off this time to Combs, and Combs rumbles for about 5 yards. Jackson Combs. Again, he's playing in place of Connor Dagg today, if you just joined us. Dagg, the leading rusher this season for the Mules, who was coming in with over 500 yards, not playing today due to a sprained ankle. Combs seeing his first action here in that fullback position at 210 pounds. First start for him in that position. 3 wideouts this time for the Mules, as Rogers from the shotgun is going to look out and pass it complete to McGuire Taylor. And Taylor gets it up close to midfield.
Pass from Rogers to Taylor.
And we will give
We'll make a 4th and 2 for the Mules.
Taylor about 6 yards on that catch. 4th down and 2. And the Mules definitely going for it here. Leading at 20-0. Fox's defense trying to get the stop here. Let's see what happens. They got a lot of guys in the box. Here is the handoff. As Noah Barger gets it, he's going to be stopped. He is stopped. It'll be Fox's ball. Noah Barger does not get the first down. Foxes will take over on downs at the midfield stripe. Well, that's a big stop for the Foxes defense. They had everybody lined up in the box that time defensively. If the Mules could have got something to the outside or would have thrown to the outside, there would have been no stopping them. It was wide open because the Foxes were all lined up in the box, and they were able to get the stop. So the green and white will take over now, 1st and 10. 5:37 to play here in the third quarter. Here is a handoff. And not much doing that time for Hunter Rhodes. Again, that big defensive line for the Mules is something else. Landon Stewart over on the far right side, he's 6 foot, 210 pounds, number 54. I mean, they're just big all up and down that line. And this is not as big of a line as the Mules have had in the past. They've had bigger lines than this, but it's big enough. And that's a big reason why they're 5-1. From the shotgun, again, it's Grady Leakey. He's looking to pass. He's going to air it out way down the left side, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Back defensively for the Mules was McGuire Taylor, as trying to go up to catch it there was, who was that? That was Hunter Rhodes.
Hunter Rhodes on a pass attempt from Leakey. Not the way, will bring up 3rd and 9.
Fox has been successful threading the needle to Leighton Karcher a couple times. He had one grab for 21 yards and another for 3 yards in this game today. Stops the clock with 4:51 to play here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 9. Foxes with the ball resting just over the 50-yard line in Mules territory. Third and 9. 2 wideouts to each side this time as Grady Leakey operates from the shotgun. Looks to pass the ball, drops back, and throws it complete. And it is complete, and breaking the tackle and getting down the sideline for a 1st down is Leighton Karcher. That's the 3rd completion in the game to Leighton Karcher. And he is tackled at about the 36-yard line, so that's about a 13, 14-yard grab for Karcher. And again, the Foxes successful in the pass. 4:29 to play, third quarter. Linebacker positions for the Mules right now. They got Luke Sork out there at number 36. Got Jackson Combs, number 40. Again, 1st and 10 from the shotgun. It's Leakey. He's going to pitch it out this time, running to the left side, trying to turn the corner, and definitely turning the corner and getting another positive gain is Hunter Rhodes. Rhodes with another 1st down for the Foxes.
Good enough for another 15-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 Foxes.
We'll give Rhodes 16 yards on that carry.
It'll be a 16-yard pickup. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20.
That gives Rhodes over 30 yards now on the ground for the game. And that's quite a turnaround from the first half. So Foxes have talked about some things and found a few things here in the second half after coming out of the locker room. Definitely moving the ball better. 3:32 to play in the third quarter. Again from the shotgun. Handed off to Arian Allen. Allen with a gain.
Arian Allen up the middle.
Positive yardage. Give him about 2 on the play. Bring up 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 19-yard line now. Fox is in the red zone for the first time today. Trying to get on the scoreboard. .243 to play in the third quarter. Foxes with a wide out to each side. Leakey takes a snap, and he's going to hand it off to Arian Allen. Finds running room over the left tackle and rumbles for positive yardage.
Arian Allen sidesteps the tackle and picks up about 3. It'll be
We'll give him 3 on the play. Third down and 5, ball on the 16-yard line. Allen's had a little bit tougher day running the football today than what he had last week against Flora. But Rhodes has had some success here in the third quarter for the Foxes. Let's see if they go back to him here. Back to pass. Leakey looking to throw it. He does, and it's complete to Allen. Allen has running room, and he's in the end zone. 16-yard touchdown grab by Arian Allen.
16-yard pass play from Brady Leakey to Arian Allen at the 137 mark.
And we mentioned at the top of the broadcast how the Mules defense is a little bit vulnerable to the pass. And that turns out to be the way the Foxes get the ball in the end zone, is on a 16-yard touchdown pass to Arian Allen. And now the Foxes will go for the 2-point conversion, but they are on the board here. It's 20-6. That's a little screen pass that time to Arian Allen for the 16-yard TD. And here's a handoff. And we got a flag on the play as Darian Pike tries to get it in.
Initial effort is no good.
Let's see the signal from the officials. Going to be
Face mask.
face mask against the Mules. That's the second face mask call against Fairfield. And that will push the ball up much closer to the goal line, which gives the Foxes a lot of options now. They'll still operate from the shotgun, though, despite the fact that the ball is only about a yard out. And they run the reverse. And inside, scoring is Hunter Rhodes. Rhodes takes it in on the 2-point conversion. And the Foxes put 2 more on the board, 20-8. Nice drawn-up play that time by the Foxes. 20-8. And we'll have the ensuing kickoff back to the Mules here in just a moment. This is Black Diamond Conference football on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. Carter Turf and Tractor is now open in their beautiful new location on West Main Street in Fairfield in the former Save-A-Lot building. Carter Turf and Tractor is your area dealer for high-quality Kubota tractors in a variety of sizes, perfect for a landscaping business or to easily handle a variety of jobs around your home or farm. They can customize a solution for your needs. They also have the Kubota RTV utility vehicles for on-road and off-road transportation and hauling needs. When there's mowing or lawn work to be done, Carter Turf and Tractor has you covered with Exmark riding mowers and walk-behind mowers. They also feature a good selection of Echo brand brush cutters, trimmers, and chainsaws, as well as Honda and Generac generators. Come in and see for yourself at the new Carter Turf and Tractor, open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday and 8 to 2 on Saturday. Back in McLeansboro, Grady Leakey kicks it off to the Mules. It's fielded by Jay Mooring, and Mooring brings it up to about the 25-yard line where the Foxes, or 35-yard line, I should say, where the Mules will put it into play. Leading it here 20-8. Minute and a half to go here in the third quarter of play. Well, that was a nice sustained drive by the Foxes. They were aided a little bit by the penalty situation on the face mask for the Mules to get one of those first downs, but then made some good plays and eventually ended up scoring on the 16-yard touchdown pass on the screen pass to Arian Allen, and then the 2-point conversion added by Hunter Rhodes. We're 20-8. Mules have it as they hand it off to Noah Barger. Barger comes around the left-hand side for a short gain.
Tackled by Brady Thrain.
Thrain on the stop defensively for the Foxes. Give him a yard on the play.
Gain of 1, bring up second 9.
I had Barger for 35 yards rushing in the first half. Again, unofficial stats. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Under center is Rogers. He's going to run the option. He's going to keep it this time. And he tucks it back in and goes up the middle and picks up positive yardage.
Second gets about 6-7 yards, so we bring up 2nd and 2.
We'll give him 6.
3rd and 2, excuse me.
It'll be 3rd down and 2. Rogers had 54 yards on the ground in the first half, by our count, including an 8-yard touchdown run. Part of the Mules' scoring efforts this afternoon. 19 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Here is the pitch to Camden Robbins. Robbins, he's got a first down and a little bit more as he takes it up close to midfield. That will be a first down, so they'll move the chains. Then they start the clock, and that'll wind it down to be the final play of the third quarter.
When we will start the fourth quarter.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mules at the 49-yard line when we return. After 3, Mules lead it 20-8. Back with more in just a moment.
Fairfield Mules 20 and the Hamilton County Foxes 8.
In today's environment, being able to do all of your banking from home is not only convenient, but a necessity. People's National Bank makes it easy for you to do your banking without actually going to the bank. From online banking, mobile banking, free mobile deposit, to transferring funds and paying bills, it's easy and convenient for you to do your banking all from your mobile phone or computer. Get started by going to peoplesnationalbank.com to sign up for online banking today. People's National Bank, making it easy to bank from anywhere. Member FDIC.
Back here at McLeansboro, where the Mules will have it to start this fourth and final quarter, leading it by a score of 20-8. Fox has got on the board. And, of course, on that last Mules possession, the Foxes' defense stopped them at midfield when the Mules went for it on 4th down. So Foxes did turn it over on downs. Mules have yet to punt today. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. So we start the fourth quarter of play. Tight formation this time as they're going to give it to McGuire Taylor. And Taylor
on the carry.
Picks up about 7.
Just short of the first down.
Maybe more than that, yeah. Yeah, give him 9 on the play. Yeah, 9-yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 1. Ball at about the 42-yard line. Mules are trying to determine what to do on week 9. You might have heard our interview that we did with Coach Justin Townsend on the Sports Couch this past week. You can find that on YouTube or on our website if you want to check it out. As the handoff goes to Jackson Combs, and that's an easy first down for the Mules as they move the chains again. As Combs takes it up to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 9 for Combs on the play. Coach Townsend said he has been in talks with some schools who are looking for a game week 9 to allow Fairfield to play as opposed to taking the forfeit win against Vienna. And again, there's always pros and cons to all that, whether you take the forfeit or play. Here is a handoff to Jay Mooring, and Mooring has positive yardage. He looks to get about a 6-yard gain on the play. Mooring's had a couple of games this year for the Mules where he's won over 100 yards. Not gotten near as many carries today out there, as it's mainly been Combs and Robbins and Taylor, and then the quarterback Rogers carrying the ball today. 2nd down and 4, ball at the 26-yard line of the Foxes. 10:17 to play in the game. Here is a handoff, and short gain that time.
Up the middle. Short gain.
Not much.
To make up about a 3rd and 2.
It'll be 3rd and 2 now for the Mules. Ball resting just over the 25-yard line. Everybody in tight this time for the Mules on the offensive formation as they give it to Mooring, and Mooring's got running room. He may be gone. He's close. Tackled just inside the pylon.
Tackled just before he crossed the goal line.
It'll be first and goal for the Mules as Mooring picked up about 22 on that play. And a nice little counter play back, misdirection on that play. A lot of speed for Mooring. You get him to the outside like that, he is tough to bring down. Again, just a sophomore too, so bright future for Mooring and the Mules. First and goal from the one. There's Mooring, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown, I believe. Yep, there's the score. So Mooring scores from 1 yard out, and he is the fourth different Mule to take it in the end zone today on the ground. As Fairfield adds to their lead, making it 26-8 with 9:32 to play in the game. Mules will go for 2 now. Fairfield looking to improve to 6-1 on the season. Definitely a playoff team again. Double handoff this time, and being trapped in the backfield is McGuire Taylor, and the 2-point conversion fails. So if you're looking for a bright spot defensively for the Foxes, it's the fact that you've stopped Fairfield 3 out of 4 times today on 2-point conversions. Fairfield fails on the conversion, but nonetheless they lead this football game by a score of 26-8. We'll have the ensuing kickoff coming up here in just a moment. We'll be right back.
As farmers have had to reimagine themselves, so have the companies they work with. At Pioneer Seed, their teams are dedicated to serving farmers year-round with the most advanced technologies and localized expertise. They are committed to adapting with the changing industry to serve you today, tomorrow, and years from now. Christopher Johnson is ready to work side by side with you in the most complex and rewarding industry on earth, farming. Christopher Johnson, your Pioneer Seed representative.
And here is the ensuing kickoff after the Fairfield touchdown. Ball is picked up back there by Zach Wheeler. And Wheeler brings it back up to about the 30-yard line. That's where the Foxes will put it into play, 1st and 10 here. 9:23 to go in the football game. Fairfield leading at 26-8. As you see on the Edwards Jones Financial scoreboard, courtesy of Tim Millenbein of McLeansboro.
9:23 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Actually, they spotted at about the 31. So that's where this drive will start. It's been a nice, warm, sunny Saturday afternoon. Players have done a good job of staying hydrated so that they don't get too warm out there today or having problems with cramps. Here is the handoff. And it goes to Rhodes, and he is stopped after a gain of about 2. Rhodes scored on the 2-point conversion after the Foxes' touchdown on their last drive. Pep Band is still here playing this afternoon. To our right. Good turnout of Fairfield fans across the way, wearing the red and black. And, of course, a lot of you back in Fairfield watching us here on AreaSports.net and FoxesFans.net as well. We appreciate it. 4 receivers out this time for the Foxes. As Leakey wants to air it out, he's scrambling. He's looking for a receiver. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he does, and he is tackled. Tackled by Regan Taylor on the play as he comes across the 36-yard line.
Picks up about 4 yards to bring up 3rd and 5.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 as Leakey picks up 4 on the scramble. .804 left in the game. Clock running again. Foxes in passing formation. 4 receivers lined up. Here's Leakey. Tries to throw the screen that time, but the ball is short, intended for Darian Pike. Falls to the turf. Stops the clock with 7:49 to play in the game.
Bring up 4th and 5 for the Foxes.
Foxes have Vienna on their schedule next, and then wrap up Week 9 against Cesar-Valier. Haven't heard anything different. The Foxes were looking for a game next week, so I assume they're going to take that forfeit win against Vienna. From the shotgun again, Leakey double pumps and throws it over the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted that time by Noah Barger. Barger just stepped right in, just like you cut off the passing lane in basketball. Noah Barger with the interception, and the Mules have it. Second turnover of the game. Fairfield will have it in Fox's territory at the 47-yard line.
Does have pork chops left. No bones, but they'll give you a package of 2 pork chops, 2 for $5 if you want to get down.
So 7:41 to play in this game, and the Mules will have it again after the turnover. Good secondary defense that time by the Mules.
7:41 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Barger was watching the quarterback the entire time, and he watched him double pump. And that gave him time to straddle the receiver and jump in that passing lane and intercept it. 1st and 10 from the 47. Here is Noah Barger, and he is tackled for a loss in the backfield. All the way back to the 45-yard line as Fox's defense pursued quickly that time.
Forces about a 7-yard loss on the play.
Loss of 7 on the play.
Brings up 2nd and 17 for the Mules.
$7:15 to play in the contest. 2nd and 17. Here is a rollout by Rogers. He looks and he throws it incomplete. Pass is dropped there by Robbins at about the 45-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and long. I'm sorry, bring up 3rd down and long for the Mules. Stops the clock with 7:02 left. Ball resting on their own 45-yard line. Show 3 wideouts to the right this time. Single setback. And rolling out is Rogers. Looks to pass. He does, and it's complete to Noah Barger as he tucks it in short of a 1st down, but a big gain up to about the 39-yard line. And that'll make this 4th down much more manageable. It'll be about 4th down and 3.5 from the 40-yard line. So that was a gain of 7 on the play on that pass to Barger. 4th down and 3. Last time the Mules went for it on 4th down, the Foxes stopped them. Let's see what happens this time. From the shotgun, again, there's the pass, and it's complete. Out to the right side, it's going to be a 1st down this time as McGuire Taylor gets the yak yards and the 1st down, the yards after the catch. As Rogers threw it back across the grain, and Taylor knew what to do with it. Gets it up to about the 34-yard line. They'll move the chains, and clock will keep on running. It's 1st and 10 for the Mules. 6 minutes left in the game. Nothing going on that time.
Snuffed up the middle by the Foxes.
Jackson Combs had nowhere to go.
Combs on the tackle. Combs on the carry, excuse me.
Combs does have a 9-yard touchdown run in the game. McGuire Taylor has scored, Rogers has scored, and Mooring has scored for the Mules. Rogers throwing out the pass, and he's going to throw it deep, but it's well overthrown. And McGuire Taylor, the intended receiver down there, but it sailed over his head. A little tougher to throw on the run than what you think it is. Much easier to throw when you are set, stop, than it is throwing on the run. Ball has a tendency to kind of tail on you. And part of that is due to the crown on the football field, because you've got the quarterback way back at the top of the crown, and then you got the receiver down on the lower side of the field below the crown. So the ball will often sail. Here's a pass to the left side, and it's overthrown as well. Intended over there for Camden Robbins, out of bounds. Stops the clock with 5:14 to go. It's going to bring up another 4th down situation for the Mules, but this time, instead of 4th and short, it's going to be 4th and 12. Ball on the 36-yard line, 4th and 12 for Fairfield coming up. Foxes have done a much better job in the secondary here in the second half than what they did in the first half defensively. Let's see what the Mules do here on 4th and 12. Single setback. 3 receivers to the right. Back to pass. Here it is, intended for Noah Barger, and it's tipped away at the last minute. Triple coverage back there by the Foxes as Rhodes knocked it away as the pass was intended for Barger.
From the 36-yard line, first and
Easily would have been a first down had it been completed. But again, the Foxes defense prevails, and that's the second time that the Foxes have taken over on downs in this football game. Fairfield has not punted in this game. 5:09 to play in the contest. Foxes trail it 26-8, but they'll have the football at their own 36-yard line. Foxes have double receivers out to the left, man in motion. They're going to toss it to the man in motion, and that is going to be a big run into Mules territory. Holy cow, that was Rhodes, and Rhodes found a seam, and he rumbled.
play by Hunter Rhodes, which will give the Foxes a 1st and 10.
That was a 32-yard rumble there by Rhodes. Biggest play from scrimmage of the game for the Foxes. And it puts Hamilton County down into Fairfield territory at the 42-yard line. 4:45 to play in the game. Again, from the shotgun, Leakey going to take off. And he picks up a pretty good gain across the 40, up to about the 37-yard line. And the Foxes are moving the football. Give him 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 at 37. Two wideouts to the left, one to the right this time. Man in motion. There's Leakey passing it again, and it's across the middle, complete. As the pass is hauled in there by Leighton Karcher. That's his 4th catch of the game. And it's another first down for Hamilton County. They'll move the chains. 3:42 to play in this one. Ball resting on just short of the 30-yard line. Yeah, 4 catches for Leighton Karcher in the game. First and 10 from the 31. Again, quarterback Grady Leakey from the shotgun. He's going to keep it this time as he rolls out to the left and tucks it in and gets up close to the 20-yard line.
Nice pickup. Picks up about 8. Deals with the timeout.
Fairfield's going to call timeout. Fairfield's going to call timeout after the 8-yard gain, and we'll take timeout and be right back.
Vaughn Equipment is a family-owned and operated business in Fairfield that's committed to providing quality equipment to the farm, construction, tractor-trailer, marine,
And a little technical difficulty there with that one. We apologize. We do thank Vaughn Equipment Company for all of their support here of Black Diamond Conference football on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. Stop by and see Vaughn Equipment Company on the highway just south of Fairfield. Unbelievable selection that changes almost daily at Vaughn Equipment Company in Fairfield. You can see a lot of pictures and information on their website as well. All right, 3:05 left in this football game. Fairfield leading at 26-8. Foxes driving. And they have it. 2nd down and 1 with the ball at the 21. Handoff this time to Arian Allen. He cuts back across the grain. He's got a 1st down and gets the ball across the 20 up to about the 17. We've got an injury on the field, it looks like. One of the Foxes is down, holding a knee, it looks like. That's never good. And, well, they're 10 with him on the field. Yeah, while they 10 him on the field, we will break away for just a moment. Still tending to the injured player down on the field. Is that what it is, Big Elijah? Elijah Minnendorf. He is 6'1", 320 pounds, a sophomore for the Foxes, big number 74, and he's being helped off the field. Foxes are playing without the other Minnendorf today, who got some unsportsmanlike conduct penalties from him in the last game against Flora, and unfortunately was asked to leave the game, and that made him ineligible to play today due to IHSA rules. And the Foxes definitely have missed his athletic ability, both offensively and defensively, today in this game. Hopefully Elijah is going to be all right, as you see him walk in front of our camera here. At least he is walking. That's a good sign. So he came up limp, holding that knee. All right. 3 receivers being shown here by the Foxes as 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Grady Leakey looks to pass. He rolls out to the right. He's pursued, and he throws the football, and it's incomplete, knocked away there. I think it was intended for Rhodes. Rhodes on the crossing pattern, couldn't quite hit him. Stops the clock with 2:32 to play in the game. 2nd down and 10. Well, this is a game that the Foxes is not going to win, but this would be a confidence builder if they were able to somehow get in the end zone again against this Mules defense. Spread the field again. The pitch to the right side. It's Rhodes. And Rhodes gets it up across the 10-yard line. Hunter Rhodes is going to give the Foxes a 1st and goal. So a nice carry there by Hunter Rhodes on the pitch. And Hamilton County's knocking at the door again.
1st and goal from the 7.
1st and goal from the 7-yard line are the Foxes. Here is a handoff to Arian Allen. Allen is getting up close to the goal line, inside the 5 to maybe the 2-yard line. A gain of 5 for Allen. And it'll be 2nd down and goal. Yeah, about a yard and a half, it looks like. Minute 39 to go in the game.
First and goal from the 1.
Grady Leakey from the shotgun. He hands it off after the high snap, gives it to Darian Pike, and then the pile comes in on top of Pike. He's short.
Pike on the carry, held back, short of the goal line.
High snap might have affected the timing a little bit on that handoff. 1 minute to play in the game. Grady Leakey comes over and gets some instruction from the coach. Next play, it's being called. 3rd down and goal from the 1. Fox is trying to punch it in here, add some points. You're going to operate from the shotgun again. And here is the option play. They do pitch it, and the pitch is a good one to Arian Allen. Arian Allen scores on the option. A nice pitch at the last second there by Grady Leakey, and he really did draw the defense to him and wait till the last possible second to pitch it. It was a nice play, good pitch, and Allen takes it in, and it makes it 26-14, and the Foxes will go for the 2-point conversion. Some people will take a look at this score today and be a little bit surprised at really how close it's been in the final score. And falling down in the backfield that time, Hunter Rhodes just kind of lost his footing. 2-point conversion is no good. 33 seconds left on the clock. 26-14, we'll have the ensuing kickoff when we come back here to Karl Mock Stadium in just a moment. On AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. Stay with us.
It's the heating season, and Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods has you covered with fast, reliable propane delivery service for your home or farm. And if you need those propane bottles filled for your grill or camper, Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods can do it. Looking for a wide selection of guns and ammunition? You'll find it at Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods. You can even search online through their website at wainwrightpropane.com. And don't forget, they also sell propane grills, smokers, and deep fryers at Wainwright Propane and Sporting Goods.
Grady Leakey has been doing kicking duties and quarterback duties here this afternoon for the Foxes, and he will put the toe to the pigskin here and kick it off with 33 seconds to play. And he kicks it deep. And Rogers fields it and runs out of bounds with it. And the Mules will have it. 30 seconds left in the game.
First and 10 from the 26.
Well, the Mules will have Edwards County next week. And then, of course, that week 9, it's uncertain still whether or not they will take the forfeit win over Vienna or whether they will indeed play somebody. They have been talking to a few schools. Looks like the Mules will go into victory formation here and just take a knee and end this one. And they do.
Mules in the victory formation, take a knee.
Fairfield's going to improve to 6-1 on the season. Foxes fall to 2-5. Mules are definitely headed to the playoffs. Foxes a little bit tougher opponent for them today than what many people thought they would be. Final score is Fairfield 26 and Hamilton County 14. That is our final score here as this Black Diamond Conference battle goes to the Fairfield Mules here on a sunny Saturday afternoon. We'll come back and take a look at some of these post-game stats. They will be unofficial, I'll tell you that, since we've been kind of doing a one-man band here this afternoon. But we'll give you what we got anyway. All right, and share some of that with you here in just a moment when we come back.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve with home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Talk to State Farm agent Lynn Braden in McLeansboro today.
Houghton's Pizza House in McLeansboro has been serving up delicious pizza and sandwiches since 1978. That's over 40 years. It's great food at a great price. You can choose from their specialty pizzas such as veggie pizza, taco pizza, supreme pizza, or create your own pizza masterpiece and choose from the toppings that you like. Dick and Lucille and their staff are ready to serve you Tuesday through Sunday from 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. at Alton's Pizza House. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Alton's Pizza House, a Southern Illinois tradition since 1978. All right, back here at Karl Mach Stadium where the Fairfield Mules improved to 6-1 on the season as they defeat Hamilton County Foxes by a score of 26-14. For the Foxes, probably one of the bright spots of the game, I would say, would be the fact that Leighton Karcher had 4 receptions for 44 yards. Arian Allen, of course, with a 16-yard touchdown grab. And so the Foxes showed the ability to move the ball on the in the air as well as on the ground. So this score probably a lot closer than what many people would think at 26-14. When you say there, Mark Otten?
Yeah, I tell you what, I think one of the things we didn't get to really talk about at halftime, Foxes shot themselves in the foot both times when they started with a motion play, legal motion.
Yeah.
They started 1st and 15 both of their first drives. And
That's true.
They just never could get enough yardage to do that. Whenever they corrected those mistakes and did it, they had shorter yardage to have to work with, and they was able to get the first downs and really take advantage of that in the second half.
Well, and in the second half, the Foxes were able to really move the ball on the ground as well as in the air. Because they didn't have much on the ground at all in the first half, but I show Hunter Rhodes ended up with 71 yards rushing on the ground, and of course he had the 2-point conversion on the 1 touchdown, and Arian Allen ended up with 27. And so they just didn't have much at all in the first half, but second half they really bounced back. But those 4 catches by Leighton Karcher were big, and then of course that 16-yard touchdown grab by Arian Allen was huge too. So some bright things that you can take out of this game, certainly for the Foxes if you're a Hamilton County fan.
Well, definitely. I mean, you've got Hunter Rhodes, like you mentioned. They started using that pitch pass to allow his speed to get out around the corner, and that was similar to what the Fairfield Mules did with their receivers to get the ball done at the outside, and they had screen plays set up. And we looked at that at the halftime and said, okay, we can do the same thing with our speed, and they took advantage of it in doing it. I know that Townsend was not very happy that he called that timeout late there in the fourth quarter to try to get some things straightened out because he did not like what he was seeing on his defensive end.
Yeah. Well, and I think, again, a couple of the bright spots you can take out of this game if you're a Foxes fan is the fact that on the 4 touchdowns that the Mules scored, the Foxes' defense held them out of the end zone on 3 of the 4 2-point conversion attempts.
And the one they did get, I think they just barely got across the line in that one.
Right. And then the other thing is that on 2 fourth down attempts, the Foxes were able to stop the Mules on 2 fourth down attempts and take over on downs.
Definitely.
So, all in all, not a bad effort for the Foxes. The Mules, of course, the bright spot for them is the fact that they've always got so many guys that are able to touch the football and do something positive with the football, and today was no exception as they had 6 different guys, carry the football on the ground, and then they had 4 different guys catch passes today too. So a big day for the Mules as far as spreading the wealth around, I guess you'd say.
Well, I don't know how much, and I don't want to be negative about the Foxes, but I don't know how much Jeff Townsend was trying, trying in the second half to see what plays might work down the line and everything else. But you've got to give the Foxes credit. They did make the stops on those plays that he was doing. There were some passes that were overthrown, but that was due to the pressure that was being put on the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, the Foxes have Vienna on the schedule next week. I am assuming that they're going to take the
forfeit and they go down, and the JV will play them on Saturday.
Okay, so it will be a JV game next Saturday down at Vienna. And then the Foxes will wrap up here at home against Cesar-Vallier in week number 9. That'll be a Friday night game on the 22nd against Cesar-Vallier. And it'll be another tough game to wrap up the season, but I would think if you're the Foxes, you probably got some confidence coming out of this game today. You lost the game, but 26-14, a pretty decent effort against a very, very talented Mules team.
I have to agree. I mean, you build on what you've seen in the second half. You've got 2 weeks to sit and prepare for this. Senior night, you've got a lot of seniors that are going to have their pride on the line, and hopefully they come out and shine and give Cesar a heck of a good game.
Again, I want to thank all the Fairfield fans that have been along on the broadcast today here live from Hamilton County. The Mules, of course, will have Edwards County next week. And then week 9, we don't know what they're going to do yet, whether or not they're going to take the forfeit win over Vienna. They may still schedule a game. I of course, interview Coach Townsend each week on the Sports Couch. We'll talk to him again here in the next couple of days and kind of get a feel for what he's thinking now in week 9. There's 2 schools of thought on that. Do you take the forfeit win in week 9 and rest your guys going into the playoffs so that everybody can be healed up because you got some guys nicked and stuff like that, or do you try to stay somewhat fresh and game ready by playing on week 9, keep the intensity up so that you're ready to go in the playoffs? There's 2 schools of thought on that, Mark.
Definitely. You had mentioned that earlier, and I had been sitting here thinking the same thing. You've got Dag that's hurt right now with his ankle. Do you take the chance of getting that re-injured? Going into your playoff season and giving him Edwards County is probably not going to be a strong opponent next week for them. So he may not have to play, or he could have limited touches next week. But do you want to jeopardize him getting hurt going into the playoffs and not having one of your stronger running backs, fullback up the middle? Not that they had a nice backup today. A couple of them.
Oh yeah, Jackson Combs ended up with 43 yards rushing. That's what I got him for, and then of course had the 9-yard touchdown run. So he did a great job in his first start.
So yeah, you take the 8-1. I really think we talked about this at the half. I really think that IHSA's got to just flat out look at the fact that every team, at one facet or another, has taken a forfeit this year, and I think they just got to look at those as it is and say it's a win. It's kind of like we talked before. Johnson City had the forfeit the very first week and decided to try to go up against Nashville and took a loss. It's a good loss, but it's still a loss whenever you start looking at those numbers at the end of the year, whenever you start looking at playoff rankings.
Yeah, we're just kind of in unknown territory this year with all the COVID stuff and the forfeit wins and losses and stuff like that. We just don't know how we just really don't know how the IHSA is going to weigh those and how it's going to play into what we finally see. None of us really know that. So it's going to be very, very interesting to.
Well, I think it's going to be the ones that you see affected more than anything are going to be those 5 and 4 teams that got in on a forfeit or something like that, more so than your 8 and 1 teams that because I think across the board you're going to see 8 and 1 somebody that's probably taken a forfeit due to COVID or just not having enough players or whatever the case may be.
Brian Turner, otherwise known as Wheeze, who was does all the sports stats for Fairfield, and of course writes for the Wayne County Press. He's down on the field and he keeps track of stats and is able to do it, of course, since that's all he's got to concentrate on. He can do it much more thoroughly and more accurately.
Didn't have to run the camera and everything else.
He can do it much more accurately than what we can. And so we've got his stats in front of us right now, so we'll just kind of run through those real quick. Total offensive yards for the game, Fairfield 312 yards, Hamilton County 161. Hamilton County actually outpassed Fairfield today, 74 yards passing, 46 for Fairfield. Of course, 2 turnovers for Hamilton County, none for Fairfield. 87 yards rushing for Hamilton County, 266 for Fairfield. Foxes were 7 out of 12 in passing. The Mules were 6 out of 12 in passing. Third down conversions. The Mules were 10 out of 13. Foxes were 3 out of 7. Foxes had 3 penalties. The Mules had 2 penalties. And time of possession was pretty equal, as it turned out. The Foxes with just over 22 minutes of possession, and the Mules with just over 25 minutes of possession. So all in all, not too bad.
Fairfield can't score if they don't have the ball. So, I mean,
well,
that was part of it that I watched that first half.
Yeah.
We were very deliberate with the ball. I mean, yeah, we could have hurried up and tried to do some other things. With that in mind, you're keeping the Fairfield offense off the field as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how close I was on my stats compared to to him. Rushing stats, he's got Eric Rogers for 60 yards. Hey, that's exactly what I had. How about that? McGuire Taylor, he had him for 53. I was a little bit off there. Jackson Combs, he had him for 44 yards. I was 43. I was pretty close. Jay Mooring, he shows 41 yards. I was a little off there. Camden Robbins, 38 yards. I had him for 39. Noah Barger, 30 yards rushing, and I had him for 35, so I was a little bit off.
That's probably because you listened to me announce.
Well, that might be. I don't know.
Did the PA, and he was down on the field and actually stepping it off, too.
Receiving stats for the Mules. Noah Barger, 1 catch for 15 yards. Blaine Milner, 2 for 14. McGuire Taylor, 2 for 10. Regan Taylor, 1 for 7. And then looking at Hamilton County, Grady Leakey, 7 out of 12 for 74 yards. And, of course, the 1 touchdown pass. He did throw an interception. Clinton Rhodes, 7 rushes for 51 yards. Arian Allen, 11 carries for 25. Caden Kelly, 1 carry for 5. Grady Leakey had 4 carries for 4 yards. Darian Pike, 2 carries for a yard. Zach Wheeler, 1 carry for a yard. Leighton Karcher, the 4 catches for 45 yards. And Arian Allen, 2 catches for 17, including a touchdown grab. And Clinton Rhodes, 1 reception for 12 yards. So, again, that's kind of a wrap on the stats, and we appreciate Brian Turner, for sharing those with us. So he does a great job, and, of course, the story of the game will be written later on in the Wayne County Press. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. I was very happy with the outcome of the game, I think. Foxes came back out in the second half. Mm-hmm. I don't say they dominated, but they really
held their own.
They held their own and put more points on the board in the second half than the Mules did. Mm-hmm. So
a couple 4th down stops.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
A lot to build on.
Yep, there sure is. Well, that's going to wrap it up here from Carl Mock Stadium, and we hope that you enjoyed the broadcast this afternoon. Again, the Fairfield Mules improved to 6-1 on the season. Foxes dropped it to 2-5 as Fairfield wins it over the Foxes by a score of 26-14. For Mark Auten, this is Randy Olson saying so long from McLeansboro.